I'm sorry won't make the pain go away. Out of the mouths of babes came words to live by, to do or die by. To be the picture-perfect family in a loving home and laughter, living happily ever after, like the storybook chapters, or be the headline. Family massacred by a barrage of shotgun blasts because a distraught dad could not get past her infidelities. As he madly squeezed the trigger, he made them sing the melody, I'm sorry, won't make the pain go away. But my siblings and I were wise guys. Not the mafia, cannoli, Columbia necktie guys. We were adolescent sages, chanting proverbial phrases laced with common sense that didn't seem so common since common law marriages were the common flaw in the family unit. See, dysfunctional ambitions create conflict and addictions which produce convicts in the community, but our wisdom granted us immunity from the compulsion to do dumb like many of misfits we grew up with. Not to mention the nitwit network media trying to deceive society into believing that an apology is a viable substitute for repentance. A judge would even reduce your sentence if you say I'm sorry for killing a man. But my clan and me knew that I'm sorry couldn't unscrape a knee or unhurt sensitive feelings, so it's either pay me back or I'm squealing. But we didn't like dealing with parents for trivial matters, so the payback option was more appealing. Shoot, my first big wheel came from a please don't squeal deal, for real. I'm sorry won't make the pain go away. But how much consolation is there in a sincere apology to extinct species for not appreciating their existence? Or, I'm sorry for the cowardly terrorist attacks to the untold scores of victims, or hit them with irony. I beg your pardon, innocent death row inmate. I hear it's just like falling asleep. My bad that I didn't mention that I had AIDS before an unprotected creep. Or, my condolences, aborted babies. Maybe the next life will want you there. I'm sorry to the neglected elderly parents that the children you raised don't care. How dare you say? I'm sorry to a neglected child whose innocence that was stolen, for the uterus rendered barren, for the rectum that was swollen, for the minefield of a mind state set to detonate at the slightest touch, for not being loved by the ones who were supposed to love you, so you hate because you hurt so much. I'm sorry, God, for doing so many things to be sorry for, and for what I'd likely do again if I were given a chance once more. Tell me, are there any words in any language that can rectify the anguish felt by a guilt-stricken mother who discovered her son covered in the hot chemical concoction she had been cooking on the kitchen stove? 5-year-old Jacob was simply sneaking cookies when the cauldron exploded, while in the midst of getting loaded, Stacy heard the loud boom, and she rushed into the room. The sheer horror consumed. The stench of melted flesh mingled with the meth must have messed with her mind, because if ever there was a good time to get high, it was then. It was when little Jacob's burned skin slid off of muscles that continued to twitch and blistered lips that tried to speak, and of course Stacy's insatiable habit that continued to tweak, and she had the audacity to say I'm sorry as Jacob took his last breath, and she took another hit of the death that took her son's breath, and she dressed his favorite teddy bear in the remains of his charred skin, then she held the bed tightly as if the bear was him, then she rocked the rancid creature as she recited the creepy hymn. I'm sorry won't make the pain go away.